Hello. Good evening, everyone. Especially to you, Sir TJ, a pleasant evening. So tonight I'll be sharing my thoughts about the story entitled The Chieftest Mourner by Ida Rivera. So I can still vividly remember the things that happened in this story, even though I read it, I think 2 weeks ago because that was the time when you also asked us a question. But now we are asked to share our thoughts about it. So in that story, there were, I think, three main characters aside from the person who died. They were Denise and the legal wife and also the mistress, if I'm not mistaken. So in that story, the poet died. And while he was still alive, he showed different kinds of things to his family. He was a remarkable writer when it comes to writing poetry, and he was also a good husband, I think, to his wife, but he found another one. So I think that doesn't make him as good as like a loyal one. But in the previous meeting, you have asked us to share who is the rightful, what do you call this? Who has the rightful authority or place to be called as Chieftest Mourner. So this story revolves around the poet, which is the legal wife, and the mistress. It highlights the idea of who holds the rightful place as the Chieftest Mourner. In the middle part of the story, Isa said that she was there even when he was at his lowest. And it resembles her sincere love in the things she can do for the poet. Reading the story, I find it difficult to spot who really deserves to hold the title because they have the right in their own way. The legal wife is his lawful partner and the one who endured his infidelities the most. His mistress, Isa, developed a genuine bond with him, which shows emotional intimacy, right? So if when you love someone and when you are there at their lowest part, even at this highest part, like in the time where they live their virtuous life, you were there. So yeah, that can be like somehow show your love for someone. So Isa developed this genuine bond with him, which shows emotional intimacy. But then I arrive at the conclusion that it is Isa who deserves to be called the chiefest mourner because of her efforts and her bravery to show despite the situation. I mean, to show up despite the situation. So she boldly showed everything despite saying that she's just a mistress, but she was there. She went near the casket where the poet was laying, or I mean, lying. And even if she stood there for a second, it seemed like a long time. It means that she has always been there and genuinely cared for him. So, reading in the story, you might say that it's somehow confusing because, even from the question, I was also confused. Who really is the chiefest mourner who has the right to be called or to be placed or to be labeled as a chiefest mourner. But then because of this kind of feeling that maybe this woman has offered so many things to this man, that's why she can be called as a chiefest mourner. But in the end, it's always a matter of perspective. We have different kinds of opinions and ideas, but I think or I believe that it is the mistress, even though she's just a mistress, but she's still showed the best way she can love a person. That would be all. Thank you.